All right, benchmark workout number 4. For the general warm-up, PVC warm-up, making sure that you're throwing in some shoulder flossing and then some overhead squats. And then the workout is going to be, it's 2025's 25-minute interval chipper AMRAP, and I gave it all those names slightly facetiously, but that is what it is. It is an interval chipper AMRAP. So the clock will be set for 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. They're going to start out at one of our 4 movements, and they're going to get as many reps of that movement as they can in 40 seconds of work. And then they have to stop and take 20 seconds of rest. After those 20 seconds of rest, they'll pick up wherever they left off until they finish, and keep on doing that until they finish all 25 reps of the one movement. Then they can move on to the next movement. But again, following that 40 seconds and 20 seconds, they have to take the rest there. So it might take them, they might finish like 10 reps of the dumbbell chest press in the first 40 seconds, and then they might finish another 10 in the next 40 seconds, and then they might finish their last 5 and move on to the kettlebell goblet step-ups and get 5 of those before they have to rest again. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. If people are confused, try to answer their questions, but at the same time, a good bet sometimes with some of these different formats is just say, hey, just start working, or like, let's just get into it, and you'll probably figure it out as you go. Sometimes people overthink it and try to overthink it a little bit. Anyways, so like I said, general warm-up, PVC, and then specific warm-up is going to be 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of transition, and you're going to go through 2 rounds of those 4 movements. As far as the setup of the gym, I would have benches set up in the kind of row closest to the bench, and then kind of in that middle row, you can have a number of different boxes set up with some different boxes next to it so people can adjust heights. I would have anywhere starting from 21 inches, or maybe even 24, 21, 18, 15, 12, maybe a 9, maybe not. But again, you can have other boxes sitting out so they can change heights if they need to. Then kind of another row of mats for sit-ups, and then lastly, you can have a pile of balls underneath the rack for some ball slams. The idea here is that they should be using some pretty heavy weight. Probably that they can't do 12 reps should be getting pretty tough, and 15 should be the max that they could do without really having to break it up. So definitely some pretty decent weight for this, because they're only going to be working, again, for 40 seconds, and then they'll be taking some rest. Also, since it is a benchmark workout, we have some old scores for it, so make sure you're looking up those, so that way you can help people pick out their weights and their box heights and everything, and compare scores at the end. And then also, since it's benchmark, we want to make sure that we're taking really good notes on weights, box height, etc., so that way we can compare for next time. As far as the movements go, 25 dumbbell chest presses, just a standard dumbbell chest press here, coming down nice and deep, and a big press out. Like I said, this should be some pretty decently heavy weight that they're using, so they're going to want to make sure that they're being pretty controlled with it. They shouldn't be flopping around a bunch. Then 25 alternating kettlebell goblet step-ups. With that, yes, they will get in 1 extra rep on one side. That does not matter too much. I do want them alternating for those. And then 25 sit-ups, all the different variations of sit-ups, and you might have some people that have a bad back that might need to do either a dead bug, either a dead bug variation where they're reaching out here, or maybe a straight leg dead bug, or maybe a leg drop. You'll see that some different people in the past have done different variations due to their backs. Lastly, ball slams. The ball slams, I would say, are one slight exception to the really heavy rule, because they just tend to really jack the heart rate up. But making sure they're dropping nice and low, powerful up, and slamming that sucker down. Like I said, you should see a lot of the weights that people were using last time to help you kind of direct that. But yeah, that is benchmark number 4. Have fun.